We get paid to read these books. Formal education will pay you a living. But self-education will pay you a fortune. I think I paid $12 for this book. And I bought it, and I read it 6 times. Same book. No student loans for reading this book. Ain't that exciting? Listen to this. So, this is the law of buy-in, John Maxwell, chapter 14. And so, basically, he's saying that people buy into the leader, a person, then the vision. So, you got to be the type of person that people want to follow first. Then he starts off telling Gandhi's story. The struggle for independence was slow and painful, but Gandhi's leadership was strong enough to deliver on the promise of his vision. In 1947, India gained home rule because the people had bought into Gandhi. They accepted his vision, and once they had embraced the vision, they were able to carry it out. That's how the law of buy-in works. Listen to this. The leader, this is rule 1. The leader finds the dream and then the people. The people find the leader and then the dream. He preaching. When I went into business, or I discovered this industry, I was 22 years old. I didn't have any business experience. I didn't know one business opportunity from another. I didn't know direct sales from multi-level to commission to, a job and a salary versus hourly. I thought salary was a dream. I get a salary. I really got it going on. Bonuses, stock options. I didn't know about any of that kind of stuff. But I had a mentor that did, and he had a vision of having a successful business where we were entrepreneurs. We could own our own company, build our own company within a company. I bought his vision. And over time, I got my own. But he was winning. It was just basically what he's saying. You gotta, that's basically what they're saying. That's how you get people to buy in. All right, let's keep going with this. Now he's using an example of the dot-com boom. I read an article that profiled entrepreneurs who partnered with venture capitalists in the computer industry. At that time, Silicon Valley in California was full of people who worked in the computer industry. And all these companies going public and all this stuff. Now listen to this. The writer of the article interviewed software entrepreneur Judith Estrin and her partner. At that time, they had founded 2 companies. She said that founding her first company took 6 months. Like, that's a long time. 6 months. You just getting warmed up in 6 months. Anyway, in any business for the most part. And countless presentations. Even though she had a viable idea and believed in it 100%. But the startup of her second company happened almost overnight. It took 2 phone calls and she had $5 million in banking. Well, teammates, that ain't complicated. She won first. That's the second rule, buy in. So, I thought when I first was studying leadership and reading this kind of stuff, I thought it was more about friendship. And then you do have to be a likable person. Don't be rude, mean-spirited. Don't be a jerk and all that. But it's not about person liking you as much as the results you get. If you winning, people want to follow a winner because they want to win too. It's so much more about winning the right way. Be an encourager, be a praiser, have a great attitude, love people. And they buy into you and you win and boom, it's a touchdown. So the second rule, get people to buy in, is to win first. You winning, and it's easy to get people to buy into what you're doing. Then he goes on, he's talking about different examples of getting people to buy in, and listen to this, and I'm going to close with this. So now he's saying he came to a church when his, I think it was his second church he got. And he said they had already voted to build a community center. He didn't want a community center. He wanted an auditorium. He knew, in his heart as a leader, he believed that an auditorium was more important to winning than a community center. But they had already voted to build a community center. So he didn't want to come in day one where they hadn't bought into him yet and say, hey, we're canceling that community center and we're going to build an auditorium, because he would have got too much pushback. But he went through the process of doing studies, selling a vision, getting to know the leaders, he got the people to buy into him first, and then he sold them on the idea of an auditorium. Teammates, that's what you got to do. You got to give people a window, let people see into what you're doing. A lot of people, they so private. Like, you don't want anybody to come to your house. You don't want to have a potluck. You don't want to, you have family functions and kids and events, and you're not incorporating people into your life. Teammates, this isn't corporate America where you just clock in and that's it. It don't work that way. This is you really living like in full view if you want people to buy into you. That's, you think pick a leader. You think Nick Saban, TD Jakes, pick a leader. Everybody in the public don't know TD like that. Everybody in the public ain't been to TD's house. But I bet you $1 million. TD's in his circle been to his house. TD Jakes in a circle, they've been on vacation together. And I mean, you just pick one. In a circle, they got to get to know you. All right, listen to this last point. When I arrived at the church, I could have tried to push my vision and agenda on the people. That's probably what I would have done in my first position. That's what he said. This was his second church. Because I was inexperienced and didn't understand that belief in the leader was as important as belief in the vision. Did you hear that boy preaching in his book? And listen to this. But by then, I had matured a little. I knew my vision was the right thing to do when I arrived, just as sure as I was 2 years later when we implemented. It took him 2 years to get the new vision going. But listen to this. But if I had tried to sell my vision instead of selling myself, I wouldn't have succeeded in helping those people get where they needed to go. And in process, I would have undermined my ability to lead them. Teammates, so the third rule is you gotta let people watch you for a while. They gotta watch you for a while. They gotta find out if you're sincere or not. It takes time. Some people will trust you after one meeting. Some people ain't gonna trust you today. I've been listening to you for 6 months before I even thought buying into what you're talking about. Give people an opportunity for the relationships in your circle to develop. Let them watch you for a while. It takes time to build authentic relationships. This ain't social media where you can go buy followers and do all that stuff to look like you got a bunch of followers doing, liking your posts. No, we want some real people showing up to a real office, doing real business face to face, or at least leveraging our relationships to get to know each other and find other motivated people to come on board with us. All that takes time. Love you guys. We'll run this play again tomorrow.